welcome to Herald TV News at 3 with me, Shalene. Shiv Sena rebels led by Eknath Shinde will move from Guwahati to Goa today as Uddhav Thackeray is ordered to prove a majority in the flow test tomorrow. Sources say the rebel camp might stay at the Taj Resort and Convention Centre where 71 rooms have reportedly been booked. Private jets are expected to land at around 4:30 p.m. in Goa, according to sources.
Sena rebels next move ahead of flow test tomorrow. The rebel camp might stay at the Taj Resorts and Convention Centre, wherein 71 rooms have reportedly been booked. Private jets are expected to land at around 4:30 in Goa, according to sources. Buses that were on standby outside have entered the Radisson Blue Hotel in Guwahati, where the rebel camp has been staying for a week now, and the security stepped up in speculation of the rebel MLAs moving out. Sources say that they will move out from the five-star resort at around 12:30 and may fly to Goa. Maharashtra governor has asked Chief Minister Thackeray to prove a majority tomorrow, while governor has also written to the Assembly Secretary Bhagwat calling for a special session at 11 a.m.
Now, as per sources from Guwahati to Goa, Shiv Sena rebels next move ahead for the flow test tomorrow. Now, Shiv Sena rebels led by Eknath Shinde will move to Guwahati from Guwahati to Goa today as Uddhav Thackeray is as ordered to prove a majority in the flow test tomorrow. As per sources, the rebel camp might stay at the Taj Resorts and Convention Centre where 71 rooms have been reportedly booked. And private jets are expected to land at around 4:30 in Goa. Now, the highlights are that buses that was standby outside have entered the Radisson Blue Hotel in Guwahati, where the rebel camp has been staying for a week now, and the security stepped up in speculations of the rebel MLAs moving out. Sources say that they will move out of a five-star hotel at around 12:30 in the afternoon, which they have already and may fly out of the coastal state early evening. Being a BJP-ruled state, the located closer to Mumbai, Goa will be a convenient layover for the MLAs who will be required to show up for the special Maharashtra Assembly session tomorrow, wherein Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray faces a critical flow test to prove his majority. Maharashtra governor has asked Chief Minister Thackeray to prove a majority tomorrow. Governor of Maharashtra Bhagat Singh Koshyari has written to the Assembly Secretary Rajendra Bhagwat calling a special session at 11 a.m. That's tomorrow, Thursday.
Kiran Borkar, Shagun Gaude, Clinton D'Souza for Herald TV.
Goa government files an application before the High Court to grant more time to complete the entire election process. High Court to address the application at 2:30 p.m. on Wednesday. The High Court on Tuesday had granted 45 days to complete the entire process.
Now, the Goa government files an application before the High Court to grant more time to complete the entire election process. High Court to address the application at 2:30 in the afternoon on Wednesday. The High Court on Tuesday had granted 45 days to complete the entire process. High Court of Bombay at Goa on Tuesday quashed the decision of the Goa government to postpone elections to the 186 village panchayats in the state and directed it to use a notification announcing the date of polls within 3 days. While the 5-year term of and the tenure of some of the panchayats had already expired and was about to expire in others, the court directed the state government and the State Election Commission to ensure that the elections are held and are completed in no later than 45 days. Clinton D'Souza for Herald TV.
The fields behind the SGPDA retail market were seen marred with dumps of garbage. Waste of fish, slaughtered animals, carcasses of dogs and other market waste are being dumped in this field. The field belongs to one farmer whose livelihood is being destroyed by the hazardous dump.
Hazardous garbage dumped behind SGPDA market in Margam. Livestock waste and carcasses destroyed the fields. No action initiated by the government. Waste of fish, chicken and even beef was scattered in the dump along with the heaps of plastic waste. Not only, but the carcasses of dogs and human waste are also washed into the landscape. The farmers plead with the government to take necessary action against this massive issue of dumping garbage that is ploughing this field.
कोणी आता हे MLA ना गव्हर्मेंटान एक्शन घेवपाचें बंद करपा हिंगा उडोवपाक. हे लोक मलेरिया जाय हे लोकां म्हणटा घरा कशें उदक साठोवन दवरूंक जायना हें जायना. हें आतां हिंग किमस कितू रे सामकी वास मात गेला किडी बिडी पडलाय आनी मातशें 5-6 जालें म्हणटा किमसां रास सामकी. मलेरिया डेंगू जायन हे मार्केटां कोण हे शॉपां ते मरोन वचपाक रे कितें रे इतलेंच मगे आनी गव्हर्मेंटान हे मातशें एक्शन घेवपाचें हिंगा मातशें बंद करपा उडोवपाक. सगळें ती आतां हिंगा मार्केट साफ करताय ती हाडटाय सगळे कचरे हिंगा हाडून उडोवप विचारलें जाल्यार ती व्हडलो शापोर सांगताय तूं कोण विचारपा हें कोण आपणा SPD मार्केटान तेण हाडून उडोवपा लायला हें तें सगळें थिंगा नुस्त्या बोडका आनी कोण सुणी हें प्लास्टीक सगळें हाडून हिंगा घालताय ते जालें आनी प्लस तुका हे बोटल्यो सगल्यो इदरा बोटल्यो आनी कोण प्लास्टीक कोण नुस्त्या बोडका थर्माकोला तें सगळी हिंग जाताय हे मातशें गव्हर्मेंटान मातशें हेजेर एक्शन घेवपाचें उडयताय ते
किडे बीन पडले न्ही
किडे आतां सगळी मोठे किडे पडला आनी सुणी बुणी सगळी आण सगळी चिकना पाकां आनी
त्या सायड गार्बेज उडयली ती कसली
ती हेजी चिकनाची आनी कसली सगळी प्लास्टीक सुणी बुणी सगळे हाडून उडयले.
ना जॉन डिवस हांव आनी हो मुगे फ्रेंड विचारी हो हिगाचो मनीस आनी आज आमी गेल्ले हेगे शेतां हिगा हे भयणी शेतां आनी आम येयल्ले हिगा येयले आम आख्खी गार्बेज चुली हिगा ही गार्बेज हिगा नुस्त्या गार्बेज आनी जायत गार्बेज आहा हिगा आनी हे गार्बेजीन हेगे शेत आख्खें कुसवलां हे शेत पोल्यूट जालां आनी तेका तेगे भयणी शेत रोवपा मेळना हे गोरी मनशां ही शेताचेर आपले दिसपड जियेताली इब्राज आपल्या हें कोताली जियेताली आनी हेका आतां शेत रोवपा मेळना शेतां भायल गेल्या तें उश्टें फुटोता तें हेका पांयां कितें जाता स्कीन डिजीज जाता कितें जाता आनी आख्खें शेत तें पिडा घालता तेंका रोवपा मेळना आनी मेन म्हणटाय ती हें आतां नुस्तें काड कोताय तें हें कोताय तें नुस्तें इगुडयताय कोणा नुस्तें वेस्ट सगळो शेतां वयता आनी शेत पिडात तेंगेले तूं सांगात तें कितें आहा तें.
Aditya Bidre for Herald TV.
Panchayat elections should be held on time. Government should not waste more time. These were the voices heard on the streets on Wednesday after the High Court of Bombay at Goa on Tuesday quashed the decision of the Goa government to postpone the elections to 186 village panchayats in the state and directed it to issue a notification announcing the date of the polls within 3 days. Watch this special series of Street Voices today.
हांव शैलेश नायक परवरीच्यान पंचायत इलेक्शन पळय आहा न्हू ते टायमारूच जावपा जाय ते म्हाका दिसता ते नेवेंक आमकां चान्स दिवंक मेळटलो आनी दुसरें म्हणजे कितें आतां पावस व्हडलो सकाळ पडचोय ना इलेक्शन येता म्हटल्यार पावस मातसो कमी जातलो.
म्हजें नांव श्रीपाद देसाय हांव पेडणे रावता. हे इलेक्शन जे डिले जाला पळय ते टायमार जावंक जाय आशिल्लें कित्याक ज्यो गजाली जावंक जाय ज्या वेळार त्या गजाल जावपाकूच जाय बिकॉज डिले करून आमी सगळ्या गजालींचें नुकसान करता सगळी सिस्टम पॅरलायज करून उडयता बिकॉज आतां एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर जर तुमी बसयता जाल्यार फुड्यो गजाली बाकीच्यो ज्यो गजाली आसा ज्यो विलेजाच्यो समस्या आसा बाकीच्यो गजाली ज्यो पंच मेंबर म्हणा जांच्यांनी फुडें व्हरूंक जाय ते एकटो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर काय फुडें व्हरूंक शकना सगळ्यो गजाली सो सिस्टम पॅरलायज जातली फक्त बिकॉज कांयच जावचें ना फुडें. पावसाक लागून प्रॉब्लम इन द सेन्स फक्त वोटरांक थंय वचून फक्त थंय वोट घालपाक जाय हो मातसो पावसाक लागून त्रास जातलो ना म्हणना पूण ह्यान पयलीं इलेक्शनां जीं जाल्या तेन्ना वोटरांनी वोटींग केलांच न्ही सो आतां ह्याच पावसाक बाबडे वोटर भिवून घरान रावतले असोय कितें प्रश्न ना.
पंचायत इलेक्शनाच्या संदर्भात जी काल ऑर्डर येयल्या हायकोर्टाची पेटिशन फायल केल्या उपरांत आमी त्या ऑर्डरीचें सगळ्यान पयलीं आमी स्वागत करता आनी ऑनरेबल हायकोर्ट जेणी ह्या सरकारच्या हुकुमशाही विरोधात जो पळय न्याय दिला तेचें आमी स्वागत करता आनी जे आमचे एडवोकेट आसले केसीक अपियर जाल्ले आमच्या वाटेन दत्ता लोवंदे आनी गौरववर्धन नाडकर्णी हेंचे आमी आभार व्यक्त करता आनी जी सरकारान हुकुमशाही आनी जी दिशाभूल लोकांची पळय जी चलयल्या आनी खास करून डिक्टेटरशीप जी ह्या भारतीय जनता पार्टीच्या सरकारान चलयल्या तेचेर उजवाड घालतना आयज सांगपाक सोदता की 186 पंचायतीची जी टर्म आहा 18 जुनाक काबार जातालो गोंय राज्यान आनी त्या संदर्भात इलेक्शनाची जी तयारी करपाक जाय आसली काय त्या सरकाराचेर खुश आहा नैतिकताच ना ह्या सरकाराची
हेजी अशें म्हणटा की पावसान इलेक्शन नाका बिकॉज दे पूर ईद समज नाल्यार किंवा व्हडलो पावस येयलो लोकांक येवपाक वयपाक त्रास पूर ईद जाल्यार त्या गांवांतल्या लोकांक इलेक्शनाक वचोंक त्रास जाता तेज्या खातीर
तेच सांगलें मरे की तुमकां जेन्ना खबर आसली पळय तेन्ना तुमी 18 तारखे आदी कार्यकाळ सोंपच्या आदी कित्याक तयारी करूंक ना काय म्हणून विचारता न्हू हांव कित्याक करूंक ना आनी हे सुप्रीम कोर्टान गेल्या पुरो म्हणून मागता तो कॉलेजीन स्टेटमेंट केला सुप्रीम कोर्टान जर वचात न्हू आमचो फूल भर आसतलो की खंयच्या तरी ऑफिसराचेर एक्शन घे लायबिलिटी फिक्स कर म्हणून की इलेक्शन घेवपाक हेंच्यांनी चाल ढकल केल्या मुद्दम आनी कॉस्ट मार म्हणून हांकां हो आमचो सुप्रीम कोर्ट आनी सुप्रीम कोर्ट मारतलोच म्हाका कॉन्फिडन्स आहा कित्याक लागून सुप्रीम कोर्टान 6 जजमेंट सायड केल्या काल कोर्टान जेन्ना ही बाजू मांडटा पळय 6 जजमेंट सायड केल्या कशें हे सुप्रीम कोर्टाच्या ऑर्डरीचें हे करता पळय ते उल्लंघन करता आनी सुप्रीम कोर्टान जर वचात न्हू शिवर आमचो मुद्दो कितें आसतलो इलेक्शन सोडूनच घाल हांकां पयलीं कॉस्ट मार किंवा खंयचे तरी ऑफिसर जे कोण पळय निश्क्रीयपणा पळय केला पळय बेजबाबदारपणे वागल्यात तेंचेर एक्शन घे
सांगता सरकाराची मनशा फक्त काय ना लोकशाहीची थट्टा करप आणि खंय तरी डेमोक्रेसी कबार करप आणि आता ते लोक संविधान जो तेंच्यांनी हात घातलेलो संविधानाक जे संविधानाचे एक सिरियस व्हायलेशन करतालो म्हाका दिसना ह्या सरकारान ह्यो काही गोष्टी बंद करच्यो कळोन येयल्लें आसा आमकां की पंचायत आख्ख्या गोंयान जितल्यो पंचायती आसा त्या पंचायतींनी तेंच्यांनी प्रशासन लावप एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर लावप 17 तारखेर 18 तारखेर आणि खंय तरी आपले प्रशासन लावप जे मागीर खंय तरी बारीकशे इंजिनियर आसा जेंची तांकां पंचायत राज केन्ना खबरूच ना कोण तरी एक हायस्ट ऑफिसर ज्याची स्केल खंय आसा तेका हाडून खंयच्या तरी पंचायतीन घालप हे कितें करून सोदताले हे सगळ्यांक खबर आसा खंय तरी तेंचे जे प्रोजेक्ट सरकाराक जाय आसले ज्यो पंचायतीची लोकल बॉडी ऑटोनॉमस बॉडी जी खंय तरी तांकां करूंक दिवची ना हेच्या पयलीं करूंक दिवंक ना ते ह्या 6 म्हयन्यान ते 6 म्हयनेच म्हणून कितें सांगूंक शकताले वरासूय काडूंक शकताले जर तेंचे ते काही गोष्टी जावना जाल्यार ज्यो सगळ्यो हांव उलोवन दाखयना पूण मनशा सरकाराची कळली आणि पंचायत मिनिस्टरान काही गोष्टी ज्यो विचार करून सरकाराक कितें तरी तेंचो फायदो करून घेवपाचो आसलो जे आख्ख्या गोंयकारांक कळले
Mandre taxi operators have slammed Transport Minister Marvin Godino for planning to introduce app-based taxi services in Goa by stating that taxi operators do not use digital meters. They state that the government is yet to give the subsidy for the digital meters. Taxi owners claimed that it was the customers who do not want the digital meters due to their high price and requested the taxi operators to switch them off and paid a lesser fee. The taxi owners have also strongly opposed the app-based taxi services.
Mandre taxi operators have slammed Transport Minister Marvin Godino for planning to introduce app-based taxi services. Marvin has stated that taxi operators do not use the digital meters. Taxi owners claim that it is the customers who do not want the digital meters due to their high price.
4 दीस जाले मार्विन आता आमच्या तकलेर घालता हाडून ओला उबर पळय तेणी घातलो पयलीं स्पीड गव्हर्नर घातलो मीटर घालतना सांगलें कितें तुमी एकदां मीटर घाला मिटराक पयशे दिता मिटराची सबसिडी दिता ते काय दिवंक ना मीटर घाला आमी ओला उबर हाडिना आनी हे ओला उबर हाडटा म्हणटा तो लोकांक लागून आमच्या लोकलांक लागून खंयचो गोंयकार ओला उबर टॅक्सी घेवन भोंवता गोंयकारांच्या घरान 4 गाडी आहा कोणाकूच टॅक्सीची गरज ना सगळे आपापले गाडये घेवन भोंवता आनी हो आतां आमकां सांगता मॉवीन कितें ओला उबर घाला ओला उबर आपूण हाडटा जबरदस्ती करता आमचेर अशी हुकूमशाही करता हांव कितें सांगता आमी सांगता कितें मॉविनाक हे कॅसिनो चलता न्हू कॅसिनोन सोमार मंगळार बुधवार बेरेस्तार 4 दीस 2000 रेट आणि मागीर 4000 5000 शुक्रार शेनवार आयतार 5000 हेचेर तुका जायना चवकशी करूंक आणि एजंट आरटीओन एजंट कित्याक हे एजंटाचे हप्ते तुका वयता आमी टॅक्स भरून रावता जाल्यार लायनीन रावता सगळे आमी एजंट येता डायरेक्ट भितर वयता एजंट कित्याक तुका तपासता जाल्यार एजंट बंद कर हे आनी प्रायवेट गाडी चलता प्रायवेट गाडी सगळे रेंटकाराक पुलीस धरिना हे प्रायवेट गाडयेक धरिना ट्राफीक पुलीस वतात ते सतायता कित्याक ट्युरिस्टांक सतायता ट्युरिस्टांक आमी टॅक्सीकार सतायना हे तुमचे पुलीस तुमचे डिपार्टमेंट ट्रान्सपोर्ट डिपार्टमेंट सगळे पुलिसांक ट्युरिस्टांक सतायता प्रायवेट गाडी आहा न्हू ते सगळे प्रायवेट गाडयेन सगळे सेटिंग केला तुवें रेंटकार एअरपोर्टार कित्याक एअरपोर्टार तांकां कावंटर दिला एअरपोर्टात तुका कितके कमिशन मेळटा रेंट करायचे, ऑफिसर तुका कितके कमिशन दिता, आरटीओ ऑफिसर, ट्रॅफिक ऑफिसर सगळे तुका कमिशन कितके दिता तुका हे गाडयांचे. प्रायव्हेट गाडये सगळे तुका कपसता जाल्यार प्रायव्हेट गाडये बंद कर. इस्कॉलांनी पळय भुरग्यांक 5 सीटर गाडी, 5 सीटर व्हॅन ते 25-15 गाडये घेऊन गाडयेन पॅसेंजर भुरगे बसता आणि भोंवतात. तांकां तुका जायना बंद करूंक. आणि हॉटेलांची एक रेट नासता. हॉटेलांची आता 1,500 रूम जाल्यार फाल्यां सकाळी सिजनाक नोव्हेंबर, डिसेंबर, जानेवारी, फेब्रुवारी 10,000, 15,000 एका नायटीक आसता. तेचे तुका जायना. टीटी जे सांगता आमचे टॅक्सीकार लुटता म्हणा, खंयच्या टॅक्सीकारान लुटला तू प्रूफ करून दाखय. नाल्यार हे इलिगल कितें चलता न्हू, तुका कापसताना माविनाक जाल्यार आमच्या मांद्र्यान येवन बस. तुका इलिगल कितें आहा न्हू, फेस टू बस मिडिया थ्रू. तुका कपसता जाल्यार दाखय. तुका दाखयता आमी कितें इलिगल कितें चलता ते. तू बेश्टे सांगू नाका, चुट्ट्याचे सोरोप करूं नाका. तुमच्या वाटेन चाळीस आमदार आहा, आमच्या वाटेन लोक आहा, अख्खो लोक गोंयचो लोक आहा आमच्या वाटेन. 40 आमदारांक घेऊन नाच तू. पळया कितके कॅपॅसिटी आहा तुका ती. तू ओला उबर हाडून दाखय आणि आमी तुका दाखयता कॅपॅसिटी. हे सगळे हॉटेलां जी आहा न्हू इलिगल आहा. बीच लायनींग सगळे कोस्टल लायनींग, बीच लायनींग सगळी दिल्लीकरांची हॉटेलां आहा न्हू सगळी इलिगल आहा. तू जर ओला उबर हाडटाय जाल्यार आमकां कॅपॅसिटी आहा, आमकां कपसता गोंयकारांक ही हॉटेलां बंद करपाक. आमच्या जर पोटार तू पांय दवरताय जाल्यार दिल्लीकरांची हॉटेलां आमी कशेंच दितना चलोवपाक.
तुम्ही म्हटलं एजंट असता आरटीओन, ते कशें कितें म्हणून
एजंट म्हणजे ही सेटिंग केला न्हू, ट्रान्सपोर्ट मिनिस्टरान सेटिंग केला. ही एजंटांक दवरपाक कमिशन आमकां अमकें दिवनो. तेका लागून एजंट घेतल्या शिवाय गाडी खंयचीच पास जायना. आरटीओन
सगळे आरटीओ ऑफिस,
सगळे आरटीओन गोंयान जितले आरटीओ ऑफिसार सगळे एजंट आहा. तुका कपसता जाल्यार हे पयलीं बंद कर. प्रायव्हेट गाडी चलता ते पयलीं बंद कर. तुका कपसता जाल्यार टॅक्सीकारांच्या फाटून बॉम्ब मारूं नाका.
आता फाल्यां सकाळी ओला उबेर हाडली तेणी जाल्यार तुमचो कितें स्टँड आसता?
ओला उबर हाडले जाल्यार आमी दिवचेना चलोवपाक. आणि आमचे ओला उबर हाडले जाल्यार गव्हर्नमेंटाक आमी बरोवन दितले.
Prasad Polshi for Herald TV.
Feast of Saints Peter and Paul was celebrated at the Church of Nossa Senhora de Ajuda, Ribandar, by taking out traditional sangod at Ribandar. Saint Peter is the patron saint of fishermen and the fishing community, and his feast marks the blessing of the sea as well as the boats and canoes for the coming season by starting the celebrations from the banks to the river. It paves the way for preparations for the rampant fishing activity.
Feast of St. Peter's and Paul was celebrated at Church of Nossa Senhora de Ajuda, Ribandar. St. Peter is the patron saint of fishermen and the fishing community. His feast marks the blessings of the sea as well as the boats and canoes of the upcoming season. Stages comprises of decorated chapels erected on fishing boats that have been tied together and taken around in the river Mandovi. The sangod was blessed by parish priest Father Francis Jacinto Dias.
कोण
Bureau Report for Herald TV.
Fathoda veterans defeated Kandali veterans 4-3 and moved in the semi-final of the first Our Lady of Fatima Sports Club Veterans Cup 2022, organized by Our Lady of Fatima Sports Club by Shishini at Our Lady of Hope Church Ground, Shishini, on Tuesday evening.
Fathoda veterans defeated Kandalam veterans 4-3 and moved in the semi-final of first Our Lady of Fatima Sports Club Veterans Cup 2022, organized by Our Lady of Fatima Sports Club Paida Chinchini at Our Lady of Hope Church Ground, Chinchini, on Tuesday evening. In the first half, goals scored by Ramesh Palkar of Fathoda veterans opened the scoreline in the 11th minute. Uday Naik doubled the lead in the 22nd minute for Fathoda veterans, then Vishant Pinnikar scored the third goal for Fathoda veterans in the 25th minute. Halftime scored 3-0. In the second half, Patrick Gonsalves scored the Kandalam veterans in the 31st minute. Caetano Xavier scored his second goal for Kandalam veterans in the 40th minute. Ramesh Palkar made it 4-2 for Fathoda veterans in the 46th minute. Caetano Xavier scored for Kandalam veterans in the 47th minute and made it 3-4. Man of the match was awarded to Uday Naik of Fathoda veterans. Inacio for Herald TV.
Corporation of the City of Panaji will procure 8 vehicles under the Smart City mission for various purposes. Of these, 2 vehicles will be used for lifting wrongly parked two-wheelers. 1 vehicle will be procured for lifting 4-wheelers as part of the Rs 3.6 crore project.
CCP procures vehicle to lift wrongly parked two-wheelers. 1 vehicle will be procured for lifting 4-wheelers. 8 vehicles will be procured under the 3.6 crore Smart City project.
I found it a little bit slow. We have to train our people properly because we cannot afford to have traffic jams in the city when we are lifting up two-wheelers. But the idea of this lifting up two-wheelers is most of the two-wheelers are locked and kept. And if they're big bikes like Bullets and others, like Javas, it becomes very difficult to physically lift it. That is why we are using this crane. But if we improve in the speed of picking up these bikes, then I don't think it should be a problem. But at this present speed, it may result in traffic jam.
So under the Smart Cities project, we are procuring some specialized vehicles for CCP. So this whole project is around 3.6 CR. So under that there are 8 different types of components which consist of various vehicles. So one of the vehicles that you see behind us is for towing of two-wheelers. So there are 2 such vehicles being procured by CCP under the Smart Cities mission, and another vehicle for 4-wheelers.
So as my colleague said, we have procured these specialized vehicles for lifting of two-wheeler vehicles that are parked in wrong places or unauthorized parking. So these two-wheeler towing trucks that you can see, these vehicles can lift the vehicles that have been parked in unauthorized parking and have a capacity of around 7 vehicles. So 7 two-wheelers lifted can be fitted onto this vehicle. They can be towed to the police department, and whatever fines are there can be allotted to the violators. So we have procured 2 of these vehicles so that they can be operated all around the city. And there are various other vehicles also that have been procured, which may be updated on a later.
Sagun Gowde for Herald TV.
That's all we have in today's news bulletin. Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news alerts, please follow us on O Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.